and welcome to Lippy Presents Ghost News Network. Today is our question of the week. Julie, you found a question for us. What do you got for us?
All right, so why do you guys think that a place becomes haunted?
It depends on the location.
It depends on, I think
Depends
it
on a lot
is.
of things.
Yeah, I mean, the easy answer, and I'm going to stick to just this because there's a whole bunch of different reasons. I think energy would play a factor. So meaning like, we'll talk Gettysburg for instance. Why is Gettysburg one of the most haunted places in the world? Why is that considered so haunted? And I feel like because of what happened there, you had, I guess it was a battle, but because so many people died in such a small area in such a short amount of time, imprinted that in that specific area. And then you go there and there's hauntings. There's intelligent, not intelligent responses, and there's residuals that's going on there where you'll see an entire battle happen and nobody was reenacting that day. We've picked up cannon fire, we've picked up rifle fire, and you know, what is all that, you know, so I think it's just because of the amount of energy and what happened at that location, that's why that place is just like that.
I think in terms of houses, I think it could be because a person is either attached to an item or pride. If you put a lot of work into your house, you built this house and stuff like that, you might just not want to move on. You might want to see before you move on what people are doing with your house. That's why a lot of times when we deal with renovation theory, people are starting to do things to their house, and it tends to kick up activity because the spirit that's there is not happy that you're changing the way that their house looks. You know, it's theirs. And a lot of times it tends to be people or spirits that are materialistic in nature, I would think. They're attached to something. You know, it's not like they're waiting for their family members to pass on. This is usually when other people have moved in and stuff like that. So I think a factor for a lot of house investigations that we do is those people were materialistic in life, and they just don't know how to let go.
Well, you covered battlefields, you covered houses, so I guess I'll do like myth and urban legend locations. Generally, at least the ones that we investigate, some of them have ties to murders that may or may not have happened there. Some of them have ties to the witch trials that may or may not be involved. A lot of them just have general history that are involved, where not necessarily a death had occurred there or anything really bad. It's just that location was so historical and important to people at the time that it might have just left an impression on people. And the majority of what we see in those locations is residual hauntings, where just energy is left over, where almost like somebody does the same routine every day, where that can literally be imprinted in the earth, where it just kind of projects itself every once in a while, and we're just lucky enough to catch it. It could be something like, I don't think we've really encountered this yet, but in Sheep Pasture Park, where the aluminum factory is, if there was somebody working in that aluminum factory, and every day they walked in that front door, you could potentially see, a figure walk through the front door every day. Or it wouldn't happen every day, but that's just because it happened every day, you'd be able to see something that could manifest like that. So it could have something to do with
And that falls under
experience.
residual.
Right.
That falls into residual. Yeah.
It could have something to do with traumatic experiences. It could have something to do with just being a part of somebody's mundane everyday life. You never know.
Right.
So something a little different than what you guys said would be, I guess, what I could call an accidental haunting, which I would think would be with the rise of like popular culture of horror movies and the occult or things like that. People thinking it's cool to play with a Ouija board, to start dabbling in the occult or witchcraft, and then accidentally summon something or open up a doorway to something. And that can happen in a house, it can happen in any sort of building or location or just to a human, to anybody's life where they're just goofing around with their friends like, oh, isn't this funny? And then before you know it, you have something sort of serious going on.
Conjure it up yourself.
Yeah.
Good answer.
I know a situation where that actually happened to someone I used to investigate with in New England. They had, they lived in an old colonial house. It was 3 floors, and the people in the middle floor were all like kids, and this was a mom with a child, and they were using a Ouija board. And unfortunately, whatever was happening upstairs didn't affect them. It latched onto the kid on the first floor. And the kid had nothing but problems for years and years and years. And I've spoken to them in probably 8 years or so. But the last I heard, her son was still having issues with whatever had attached to him. So
That's what sort of kept me scared to ever play with a Ouija board.
Oh no, I don't mess with that stuff.
Yeah.
And
I like
always-
learning about those things, looking at it, great. Never gonna.
I always,
Yeah.
I always say Milton Bradley's not
They're
out to
not
get
to
you,
get
but
you.
it's how
the
you're
way
using it.
Exactly.
It's, you know,
The mental frame you're putting yourself
Right.
in. You're asking, you're opening yourself up.
Exactly.
Hey, random ethereal thing that I can't see, hear, or control.
What's
Why
up?
don't you take control of a part of my body? You know,
and just
move
because
the planchette.
you're asking and trying to communicate with your past relative doesn't mean that Mr.
Something
Demons
else.
will not walk in by and it's like,
Oh, hey, it's
open door.
oh,
Let me
hey,
jump
it's
in
me,
there."
Grandma Rose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's not Grandma Rose.
Right.
I want to piggyback off what you say. If there's an unintentional haunting, then there's the intentional. If you intentionally use that, knowing what you could do with a Ouija board, or
And people do that.
or something, yeah.
People absolutely do
There are
that.
people that do summonings
I mean,
and seances.
Or-
now
and
Misery
things like
Site
that.
3.
There's
There's one of the reasons
intentional.
why they claim Not Misery Site 3 is demonic haunted because people did demonic rituals there.
Right.
They tried summoning something and they got it, you know. I mean, another type would be if you want to go towards the Philip experiment, creating it yourself. Not so much summoning, but creating it because you have a couple of people, 5 or 6 people that believe so much in the haunting of what's supposed to be happening there where they make it worse than what it really is. Because their energy and just their mind, you know, the mind's a funny thing. We don't really know too much about what our mind can really do. And there was a case, and they did a study called the Philip experiment where they created this whole fake place, fake storyline. They got 5 people that they told that were non-skeptic. They believed in the story so much, and they started investigating, and through investigations, they started getting evidence. They created their own haunting.
Wow.
So it's another type, you know. So, but yeah, that's why I go in with the skeptic mind.
Yep.
You never know.
Anybody have anything you want to add to that? Nope. Alright guys, so let us know what you think about that in the comment section below. You can also give this video a like, share, and subscribe. And you can also click the little notification bell to know when all of our content is being uploaded to YouTube. So thank you guys very much for joining us on this latest edition of Ghost News Network. And until next time, take care guys.